Hello, friends. How are you today? This is Susan, and I have a fascinating astrology story for you today. The key players involved in this story are Saturn, Pallas Athena, Mercury, and Eris, and Nix. Nix is an asteroid body. The fascinating position of all of these energies is the perfect mix for whistleblowers to be highlighted, truth-telling to be highlighted, and revelations of all kinds. It is from the astrology of the lunar month from December 23rd to January 20th. It comes from the new moon chart, December 23rd, 2022, which flavors the entire month. With Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter, you saw recent revelations, and you've had people from government come forward. You've had people who've been doing research on areas involving the kids come forward. You've had people come forward with information about health. I mean, just on and on and on. It's almost like a gate has broken open. I'm going to explain the energy behind this effect and behind the whistleblowing that is currently active. What this chart is, it's all of the astrology aspects of Mercury at the peak of the December 23rd new moon. So I've got all the types of aspects here. Here's a list of key degrees. So if you have any planets on these key degrees that are important for you, then this story of truth-telling, revelation, etc., would be particularly poignant for you. So what you can see in these aspects to the trained eye, let me just point this out to you. See this purple, this triangle here? This is a yad, and it points to what the divine is highlighting, to the outcome God desires. Isn't that fascinating? And look who is, look who's essentially drawing like a bow, shooting forward through this yad. The yad goes to Pallas Athena, right here. Now, Pallas Athena pulls back the bow. Sorry about the alerts. Pulls back the bow and is about to shoot it forward, and she does shoot it forward, and Mercury is at the tip of the spear, if you will. Notice that Mercury is conjunct Pluto, and he's also conjunct Venus right here. And what does this mean? It means, and I'm going to show you in the aspects, Mercury is going to talk about what Pluto's been up to. Mercury has passed over Venus, and she cares very, very much about what is important to individuals and to humanity as a whole. Look at this. See all these aspects on the chart? Mercury has his fingers in everything. He has his sights on everything. Just to give you an idea, here is Pluto and all his aspects. See how all of these aspects, see how they stretch across the chart. Try to remember that pattern and look at Mercury's aspects. Mercury's aspects essentially mimic all of Pluto's. And so what you have here is Mercury's sort of following along the energy lines of Pluto. Mercury can see into all of Pluto's aspects. And so Mercury's going to start talking. This is the astrology of whistleblowers. Okay, I'm doing the rest of this recording from my dad's hospital room. He is busy working. My dad is always an incredibly hard worker and was a really good role model for me. Dad, do you want to say hi?
Okay. What's his name?
This is my audience. These are just a lot of different people who are interested in my work.
That's good.
Yeah. You want to say hello?
Okay.
Just say hello.
What his name was, if I remember.
You think you might know them?
Yeah.
Well, you might.
Okay.
You might know some of them. I don't know. So I'm going to put on a recorded message, and I'm going to upload it to the internet.
Okay, very good.
All right. Okay, so we're looking at the same astrology geometry that we did before, but now I'm going to point out the key players and how the energy moves. We already talked about the yod going from Pallas Athena, right here. Now my dad wants to see, so here we go. Pallas Athena to Mercury in Capricorn.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But you see what's here? It's so interesting. There's right here is Saturn in Aquarius, and right here is Nix.
Wow.
I know. Nix is the asteroid, in my view. This is the asteroid of spies. Let me make this bigger. And this is where the whistleblower element comes in. Because you see, all of these bodies, Nix is at 22, Mercury's at 21, Saturn's at 21. They are in a very tight relationship, but Nix is a little bit ahead of Mercury. And because of that, Nix knows more than Mercury. It's almost like Nix overshadows Mercury, like overlights Mercury. Nix has more information, has gone ahead. So Nix is the goddess of night. She's one of, maybe you could call her a primordial goddess. She can't really be seen. Her presence is felt, but not viscerally. She's always behind the scenes, just out of sight, almost like a shadow that has no projection into the material. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. And so here, Nix in Sagittarius has looked far into the future, and she's gained very much information. I think Nix is the asteroid of spies. And so whoever the spies are, they have an idea of what the future is going to be like and how it's going to unfold. And right now, Nix is in a semi-sextile with Mercury in Capricorn. So what does that mean? They're informing, Nix, representing the spies, are informing Mercury in Capricorn about secrets of governmental structure, of power structures, of edified creations, edified and stultified, great organizations, structures, maybe even that no longer serve us, as Saturn looks to build out what is proper and right for the new age in Aquarius. Nix is informing on everyone, but you wouldn't really know it because she is like the ghost in the machine. The Yod to Athena, right here, shows that God wins in this battle. Athena supports human heroes. And this, my friends, is the astrology of the whistleblowers. And this is implemented right after the solstice, at the beginning of the expansion of light in the northern hemisphere. And what a proper and perfect time for Nix to be informing Mercury and Saturn, to be helping Mercury know what to talk about so that we build a future that works for all of humanity. It's very, very exciting. And the last thing that I wanted to tell you was that the structure here, see here the geometry of the two semi-sextiles to Mercury with the arrow that goes to the point of the yod. Do you know who this looks like? It looks like the symbol for Eris. Eris, the goddess of strife and discord. So the whistleblowing, the information, whatever comes out at this time, could it cause strife or extreme strife? We have to remember that Eris caused the battle, the war for Troy, a war that lasted 10 years. And she initiated it. And here she is in the sign of the god of war and initiating action, Eris. As a bonus for this video, I wanted to put the key actors in the Troy War. onto the astrology chart, the same chart we just looked at.
Wonderful, baby.
Well, yeah, because that was a crazy event, wasn't it, Dad? That's when to win the war, Odysseus got into the wooden horse and surprised the people of Troy, and that's how they won the battle and ended the war. Well, so here you have Eris. Here you have the three goddesses who were fighting over who was the fairest: Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. Here's Zeus, who had a hand in overseeing the activities. It seemed like Eris caused the battle, but if you read the story further, Zeus had his hand in getting Eris in the mix. Thetis and Pallas, here on the right side of the circle, were the ones getting married. It was their wedding, at which Eris caused the great strife and division. Paris was the one who had to decide who was the fairest, and boy, did he get himself in trouble. Here's Helena, the woman he wanted to marry, and the messenger of the gods who brought Paris for his consultation was Mercury, the key actor in our whistleblowing story. So, will the astrology of whistleblowing lead to something like the Trojan War? You know, every single point of every key individual in the story is active in this chart. It's really quite striking. And it's amazing. Every single key character is at a key degree. To see how things stand, let's look at Odysseus's position in the chart. He's at 20 and he is retrograding back towards Uranus. But a 5-degree orb is very wide here for an asteroid. So this shocking and startling effect is a ways off. He's trine Mercury and he's adding power. As the victor and the initiator of the strategy that won the Trojan War, this is a positive sign for these occurrences. It's a positive sign for the strategy of the whistleblowers and their efforts to influence the future. The spies, whistleblowers, and ghosts. However, since Odysseus is retrograde, it's not an immediate victory. It's something that requires thought and review and careful consideration, especially in the sign of Taurus, because Taurus, the sign of the earth, is slow to change and is slow to move. Take a look at Zeus here, and Zeus is the one who set up Paris, making him choose. He was the heir to the throne in Troy. Obviously, he did not choose wisely, but he was put in an almost impossible situation by Zeus. Zeus had to know how Eris would react and how the goddesses would fight each other and cause mayhem. From their dark aspects. Well, Zeus is at 27, and lo and behold, he is sextile Pluto, and that kind of powerful strategy in a sextile with Pluto shows itself, obviously. And Zeus is very close to Jupiter, and so you have the power of Jupiter. Interestingly, Zeus is in a quincunx, a spiritual and challenging relationship with Pallas, the one who had the wedding, who did not invite Eris. Thetis is at 12, and lo and behold, she's opposing Chiron. So the story here in this episode is about achieving healing this time. It's about achieving healing, and it's about healing the past so that the future is better. Here's the North Node at 12. You can see the North Node is in quincunx, challenging spiritual relationship
with Thetis, the wife, right, the bride at the wedding. However, Thetis is in the shadow of 12 Scorpio, right? And it's exact. So you can see here, she is influencing, it's her story from the past that influences events, kind of nailing that for us. Odysseus is in a square with Saturn, and it's within a degree. It's very, very tight orb here. And so it gives the energy for pushing forward and shifting the future, making the moves to shift the future and to win the war, right? In alignment and working with the whistleblowers, because Odysseus is actually in a quincunx. I don't have her here, but with Nyx. He's in a quincunx with Nyx. And he's square Saturn. But this is a very challenging square. And so this is an effort that requires our focus and attention. The square gives us quite a bit of challenge, but at the same time, it gives us the energy to wake up and to win.
What I would say is perhaps Eris has already thrown. Perhaps Eris has already thrown her golden bauble, the golden apple, into the crowd.